More questions are being asked tonight about Pakistan's credibility as a crucial ally in the United States' fight against terrorism. The White House released extensive detail today of the mission to assassinate Osama bin Laden. He had a long-term hideout in Pakistan, just outside one of its major cities and near a military base. Those revelations are likely to further strain already tense relations between Washington and Islamabad, as Deborah Cornwall reports.
A murderer is dead and justice has been done. America and the world is safer and more secure because of it. We thank all of our partners around the world, including Pakistan.
America's jubilation at the death of Osama bin Laden marks a powerful victory in the long debilitating war against terror. But how the US handles that victory and Pakistan's humiliation may well prove far more challenging than tracking down and eliminating the most wanted man in the world.
To paint Pakistan into the corner as the pariah, as the rogue state, as the terrorist state would really be counterproductive.
The United States will still remain very careful in its treatment of Pakistan, just for obvious reasons that Pakistan is a very fragile state and it's a nuclear-armed state, and therefore the United States does not want to put too much pressure on Pakistan, which could possibly result in the country's implosion and the falling of Pakistani's nuclear arsenals in the wrong hands.
The astonishing revelation that bin Laden had been hiding out just 80 kilometres from Pakistan's capital has laid bare the almost impossible relationship between the US and Pakistan, America's most crucial ally in the war against terror. Bin Laden's very proximity to Islamabad, an open taunt to the coalition forces.
Well, the Pakistanis have been playing double games for a long time. Ever since the US-led intervention in Afghanistan, the Pakistanis, on the one hand, have been reassuring Washington that they are their critical partner in the war on terror, and on the other hand, they have been providing covert support for the Taliban.
Analysts say the fact that bin Laden had been living in a conspicuous compound within walking distance to this military academy in the city of Abbottabad can only mean Pakistan's military intelligence, the ISI, were directly involved in protecting bin Laden.
He was living in literally a mansion. It was not one small dingy flat in an alley in Karachi. He was living in a mansion 300 meters away from the Pakistan Military Academy. So it is highly inconceivable a person who was the prized catch for the war on terror, for the Americans, was living there and nobody knew about it.
Washington's decision to go in and terminate bin Laden on direct orders from the president comes at a time when an anti-American feeling in Pakistan is at an all-time high. In the past 2 years, the US has stepped up its drone attacks on Taliban and al-Qaeda hideouts on the Pakistan border, largely going it alone rather than risking the continuing leaks from Pakistan's military intelligence to terrorist leaders.
In 2010 alone, 118 plus drone attacks took place, killing 600 plus people. So because of these attacks, suddenly the right wing in Pakistan, the Islamist groups, they have been pressurizing the Pakistani government that this is a clear violation of Pakistan's own sovereignty.
Bin Laden's death may now provide an excuse for America to accelerate its withdrawal from the unwinnable war.
That the United States cannot afford the $100 billion military expenditure a year in Afghanistan anymore. And the United States faces enormous financial and economic problems of its own, and the Obama administration is under enormous pressure to reduce the United States military expenditure.
But observers say they'll also be leaving both Pakistan and Afghanistan with the same intractable problems of poverty, corruption and weak governance in which terrorist organisations flourish.
because the Pakistani government is thoroughly corrupt and dysfunctional, and a lot of American monies which have gone into Pakistan has ended up in the pockets of only members of the elite, and particularly the military. I don't think that any amount of either funding or, for that matter, the deployment of more troops could really help the situation.
Pakistan itself is a victim of what Al-Qaeda and the Taliban have been propagating and fighting for over the years.
Deborah Cornwall there.